In Ois Aleph of the Maimer, the Rebbe was explaining the idea of what it says in the Maimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe. From the Medrash that Basi Legani, when Hashem says, I came to my garden, it doesn't just mean I came, but I returned to my garden. Because in the beginning of creation, Iker Shchina B'tachtonim Moisa. The Iker, the main presence of Hashem, was down here. So first of all, what does that mean and why is that important that Hashem is saying, I return to my garden? What Hashem is explaining with this is that sometimes a person comes and looks and says, how can I bring Hashem's presence into this world? Hashem himself took it away. Hashem removed it. That was the whole point of creation, that Hashem removed his presence from this world. Am I not fighting against the very essence of what things are all about by bringing it back? It seems to be an impossible job. And so the Medrash explains, no, Basi Legani. The whole point of creation is that Hashem says, originally, since this is where I wanted to be, my presence was here in the physical world. Then, through the sins of people, of human beings, it left this world. And now all we have to do is bring it back to the place where it was. So we're actually not making a new existence, but rather we're bringing back that which was here before, something which we have the power to do, and through this fulfilling the ultimate purpose of creation. Now the question is, how could it be Iker Shchina B'tachtonim Moisa? First of all, what does it mean Iker Shchina, the main Shchina? How can we say regarding the presence of Hashem, the main and the secondary? If it's the presence of Hashem, if it's the Shchina, it's the Shchina. How could it be Iker and Tafel? How can we start separating different parts of the Shchina? The second question is the whole point of Tachtonim. What does Tachtonim mean? The lower worlds. In worlds, in spirituality, there's no time and space. Higher doesn't mean above, and lower doesn't mean below. What is a lower world? A lower world means a world where Hashem's presence is less revealed. That's the whole purpose of creation. Hashem created a world where his presence is not revealed, and he wants us to bring it there, and we're telling, and the Medrash is telling us, you're not just bringing it, but you're bringing it back. But at the end of the day, how was it that in a Tachtonim, where its entire meaning is the fact that Hashem's presence is not there, how do you say that Iker Shchina is over there in that world? And this is why the Rebbe explained in the Ois that there's two parts of Shechina. There is Shechina, which is levels, which is a spiritual level. Kav. Kav is a spiritual level. Godly light. The godly light and presence is going to be more in Atzilus than in Asiyah. It's going to be more in the spiritual worlds, because that's what the spiritual world means, that there's more spiritual revelation. There's more spiritual means revelation of godliness. Malchus of Atzilus. Malchus of Atzilus, even the way we're saying that when it's called Shechina, when it becomes Atik for the world of Bria, but that means light, revelation. It's going to be in Bria, in the world of Bria, not in the lower worlds. The fact that they're called lower worlds means it's not revealed there, and if it is, it's in a lesser way. What then does Iker Shechina mean? Iker Shechina means we're talking about a aspect which is beyond levels, beyond even higher and lower. It's something which by very definition is not defined and not limited to be in a more spiritual world. It can actually be more down here than up there. What level is that? And that's what the Rebbe explained. That's the level of Oyin Ein Sof from before Tzimtzum, the Gilui Ha'er Shelifnei Tzimtzum. And the way that we explained it last time is that this means the highest level of it. Why? the essence of light is something that's beyond revelation, beyond able to be revealed. The light after Tzimtzum is Kav. It's more revealed in a place where it's more spiritual. The light, Hashem's essence from before Tzimtzum, not just the Gili or the Spashtus air, the way light spreads out, but the very essence of the fact that there's light is beyond being revealed in the world, and therefore it can't be revealed in the spiritual world or in the physical world. How's it there? Because it's the decision of Hashem to have a light which is there specifically for the purpose of being in the Tachtonim, in the lower worlds, and that's why it's more here in the lower worlds, because it's not a revelation. It's not spiritual. This is something which is the very essence of what the Rebbe's Chiddush in Chassidus is. The Rebbe talks about the fact that any type of light, even the highest type of Hashem's light, is still called Shechina, because it's there for a reason. It's there for a purpose. And on the contrary, because it's there for a purpose, that's where its purpose is fulfilled, that's where it's going to be. And like we spoke about the idea of the Tzimtzum, which is before Tzimtzum Arishain, which means the very fact that there is a light, the very fact that there is something which is beyond just Hashem himself, but there's a light, is there in order for a Jew to draw it down. So a Jew can bring down from Shekhinah the very essence of Hashem's light. Now the Rebbe continues in his base to explain that as a result of what we said earlier, that we're talking about the essence of the light, then when we say Tachtonim, what do we mean Tachtonim? Not a level of a lower world. If we were talking about a level of Shekhinah, we may have said it's in the world of Yetzirah, which is lower than the world of Bria, for example, or it's in the spiritual world of Asiyah. That's where Shekhinah is. That's where Hashem's presence is revealed in a spiritual world, not in the physical world down here. Since we're talking about Ikir Shekhinah is a level, is something that can't be revealed in any spiritual world. It's not spiritual. It's the very essence of Hashem's presence. That's something which can't be in any spiritual place. The place where it was specifically in the Tachtonim, meaning down here in the lowest place in the physical world. And that's why we talk about how through Chet Eitzadas it left the Tachtonim, and through Matan Torah and Har Sinai, which is again down here, it came back into the Tachtonim, Basi Legani, into the physical world. That's where the Torah came back to. That's where the Shekhinah came back to. Now, this concept of the Shekhinah being specifically down here means that when we speak about it went up to the first sky, to the second sky, etc., it doesn't mean the Ikir Shekhinah went there, because the Ikir Shekhinah cannot be in the sky. The Ikir Shekhinah is not able to be in the spiritual worlds. The Ikir Shekhinah can only be in one place. But it means that the revelation of that Ikir Shekhinah became distance from the world. More distance and more distance and more distance, as if it went up 7 skies. But when it went up, let's say from the first to the second, it's already up. It's not that it went to a new place, because it doesn't go to any of those places. So the main issue and the main idea is the fact that it was removed from the physical world down here. After that, it just became more and more distant from the physical world, because it never went. The Ikar Shekhinah isn't possible to be in a spiritual place. It's not spiritual. It's not a revelation of spirituality. It's not a revelation. It's the Eibishter himself, or the highest level of Hashem's light. And therefore, the place where that can be is not in the spiritual worlds. The only place that it could be is in the physical world, down here. The more it's removed, the further away it goes from it. That's why the main siluk, the main removal, is the fact that it's removed from the world down here. And how does that happen? Through the Chet Eitzadas. And that's why in the Maimer, the Frierdiker Rebbe doesn't put the two together. Chet Eitzadas, Chet Kain and Enosh, the Ramabel, etc. Frierdiker Rebbe puts it as separate things. First there's one sin, and through that it went up to the first guy. That's removing. That means it went up from its place. Then it went up further to the third and fourth. Frierdiker Rebbe puts it together because that's not something which happened, which was such an important change. The main change is when it leaves this physical world down here. So what we're saying is that the main place of the Shechina, the only place where the Shechina, where the Iker Shechina can be, is down here. And that's why also the main idea of bringing it back wasn't Avraham. Avraham began to bring it closer, etc. But where was it actually brought back was through Moshe. Why? Because Moshe is the seventh. And all sevenths are beloved, and that's why he was able to bring the Iker Shechina. He's the only one that brought the Iker Shechina. The rest of the tzaddikim only brought it closer, the revelation of the Shechina. Only through Moshe that it came down here was it the Iker Shechina. That's what the Rebbe explains in the next place. That's the idea of Shvi'in Chavivin. When we say Kol HaShvi'in Chavivin, we say all sevens are special. It's not that everyone who's special is seven. It's not that. It's that there could be those who are special. They're not seven. They're not the seventh. But the fact that something is the seventh, that makes it special. That's why the Shvi'in Chavivin brings it down here. Because something that has a belovedness, it has something special about it, means it's a revelation. It's an aspect, it's something that can be explained. Why is someone special? Because he's greater, because he's holier, because of something special he does, etc. When we say something is special because it's seven, that means it's not any explained, it's not any revealed reason that makes him special. He's special because of his essence. Now that's the one who can bring down the Iker Shechina. Because anyone who has a special quality which can be explained can deal with a spiritual revelation, can deal with a different level of Shechina. But to bring down the Iker Shechina is the essence which doesn't have any explanation, it doesn't have any reason behind it. It's the essence that comes from something which is essential, which is the belovedness of the number seven. And that's why we say, Kol HaShvi'in Chavivin. The seven is special because of the fact that it's seven. Seven is completeness. Seven is completing an entire cycle. Not because of anything special about the thing which is seven, but because of the number seven. That's why seven is able to bring down Iker Shechina. But then the Rebbe explains that that itself actually shows how special number one is. Because it's true that the first one doesn't have at all the belovedness of seven, because the first one can't bring down the Iker Shechina. But yet what makes seven into seven? Because it's nothing that comes from what it is. It's not the quality of seven that makes him seven. It's the fact that he's seven. Now the fact that he's seven has to come from number one. The fact that the seventh can bring down the Shechina starts from number one, who started the process. But more than that, it starts from number one, who made seven be able to be seven. Because since it's in a number, if it's in a number, the seventh has to be the seventh from the first. And that's where the main place is, the first who started and began it all. That's what the Rebbe explains, that what's special about the first. From that we can see the greatness of the seven. What's special about the first? The first is Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, his avodah wasn't done in a way which was for reasons. He wasn't searching for any qualities. He wasn't searching to gain anything. He wasn't searching to get anywhere. Rabbi Akiva, he wanted to reach the highest level of Mesiras Nefesh. Avraham Avinu had just the essence. Hashem says so, that's what I do. That's why he was able to start this process of the first, which is completed in seven, because his Mesiras Nefesh is one of only doing what Hashem wants, because Hashem wants it. Like the Rambam's words about Avraham Avinu. He does the truth because it's true. He's not looking for any levels or any spiritual gain. In number 1, there is no idea of spiritual gain. From that, we can come to number 7 that doesn't have any special qualities other than it being 7, and that's why the 7th can bring down the Ikar Shechina. And in this, the Rebbe continues that that's why the fact that we are 7, we can't say it's too great for us, because if it was a quality, if it was a level, so we can say, well, that level's too great for us. But if it's not a level, it's something which comes by the very birth, by the very being, the essence of the 7th. The fact that we're 7 means we have that power to bring the Ikar Shechina, and to bring it where? Specifically down here in the most physical, lowest world.